Now, though, let's come back home and tell you about South Africa being touted as the nation to steer the path to a net zero future on the continent. However, the mining industry still faces some challenges, as Ntokozo Khumalo is about to tell us. Good afternoon, Ntokozo. Is the path to a net zero future by 2050 realistic?
Good afternoon, Tutu. Well, that is what delegates here at the mining Indaba are unpacking over the next couple of days, is how attainable are the goals that they're setting themselves when it comes to the net zero future. And to help me unpack a little bit more, I'm now joined by Jonathan Dubosc, who is the Managing Director of Green Hydrogen and Thermal Business here in Africa, ENGIE. Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. Now, obviously, the Just Energy Transition talk is a big business here at the mining Indaba this year. What are some of the challenges that are actually stopping the industry from moving in that direction and meeting those 2050 goals?
Thanks for having me today. So I think the challenges are more related to the country. South Africa has a great installed capacity in generation of power, but most of it is based in Mpumalanga, typically, where are the coal mine. And hence, this power is today coming from that region. Tomorrow, if you want to go to renewable, you will have actually to displace those power stations to a region where the load factor is actually much better in wind and solar, typically Northern Cape or Western Cape. So this presents to us two challenges. Firstly, the grid. We need to strengthen the grid in those regions where the power is going to come from. And secondly, how are we going to manage the communities which are today in Mpumalanga, and that tomorrow we will need those people to also work and support the grid, the power generation in Northern Cape and Western Cape. So that's maybe the two first challenges. And the third one is the skills. If we want to grow the renewable base, we're going to have also to grow the capabilities of our students, of our workers, to be able to work in renewables. And so with this, I think we have the three key challenges that South Africa will face to go to the renewable world.
Now, that renewable road, it seems that it is meant to be or supposed to be a partnership for its work with global players, the rest of the continents and so on. What issues is the rest of the globe and the continent facing? Is it similar issues that South Africa is facing?
No, this is clearly similar. Typically in other countries like the GCC, the Gulf country like the UAE or Saudi Arabia, today we are actually trying to grow the renewable capacity, and together with that we are actually increasing the duration of the gas power plant that we have, so that actually we generate as much as we can renewable, and we compensate the intermittency through gas by increasing or decreasing the level of gas production that you are making.
And what is the role of gas in moving South Africa into that renewable energy space, or just energy? And who are the biggest culprits of some of the emissions that we see?
So the role of gas, at ENGIE at least, we see gas as a transition fuel. Meaning that we shouldn't stop it from tomorrow. We should use it over the period where the renewable is growing. The renewable is a fatal energy. It's injecting on the grid whenever there is wind, whenever there is sun. But typically mining companies do need power on a baseload basis. So generating power with gas when there is no sun, when there is no wind, makes a lot of sense. And we believe that over the next 10 years, this is clearly where we are going. In South Africa, typically, we could also use the gas, once it will come, to replace diesel, which is feeding the open cycle gas turbine that we have in South Africa. So we are ENGIE as well operating to operate open cycle gas turbine.
Jonathan, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Of course, that was Jonathan Dobas, who is the Managing Director at ENGIE, just talking about the role that gas still has to play specifically for Africa's mining industry, that if there's no sun and there's no wind, gas is a good transition energy source that the mining industry can utilize. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Cape Town.